See, I have been teaching ACCA for almost all 3.5 years, I guess. And I have taught almost all 10 papers of your ACCA, maybe 10, 11, I'm not sure. Yeah, 10, 11 papers of your ACCA. But any given day, if a student asks me, what is your favorite paper? I'll say performance management, hands down, undoubtedly. Or else maybe advanced performance management. I don't differentiate between these two papers much. Performance management lays the foundation for advanced performance management, APM P5. So yeah, these two are always my best papers. If I have to choose between these two, then I'll go for obviously for advanced performance management. The reason is that first you guys need to understand your PM paper, F5 PM paper is an advancement from F2, that is your management accounting paper. And I'm pretty sure that all of you have got exemptions from F1, F2, F3, F4 at least. At least there might be some students who are actually going through all the papers. That's a different story. See, your ACCA has its structure very nicely, ma. Very, very, very nicely. They have laid their structure, but this exemption ruins that. See, what they do is applied knowledge level you have, and then from knowledge level you move on to the skills level, and from skills level you move on to the professional strategic professional level. So they have given you very nice structure, to be very honest. I like the way it is structured. Sorry. So first of all, if I'm talking about F1, that is your business in technology or whatever, technology in business or whatever it is right now. Previously it used to be called as accountant in business, AB. Now this gives you the foundation and fundamentals for audit and assurance and SBL papers of ACC. Audit and assurance at skills level and SBL paper at professional level are dependent upon the knowledge that the student gains in the F1 paper. Okay. And similarly, F2 is there, management accounting paper is there. That lays the foundation for performance management in your skills level, and the same is useful for APM at professional level. Similarly, if I'm talking about F3, that is your financial accounting, this is covered in financial reporting in skills level, and the same is covered in SBR at professional level. And the most important and the wonderful thing to identify here is that they maintain the difference between these papers. See, if I'm talking about, say, financial accounting, at a knowledge level paper, they try to impart knowledge to the students. They tell you what exactly are the different accounting terminologies that are used, what are the different types of accounts, what are the different accounting rules and regulations, T-shaped ledger accounts, then statements to be prepared, trial balance, your profit and loss balance sheet, all the formats, introduction to consolidation. The basic knowledge that is required is given at FA level, and then building upon that knowledge, FR tries to impart some knowledge regarding the financial accounting standards, your IAS and your IFRS. And then we'll move on to strategic level of the financial reporting, where we will talk about consolidated financial statements in detail, then how to analyze those financial statements, how to interpret those financial statements, how to give strategic decisions or strategic support to the top level management to use those financial statements. All this is covered under your SBR paper. So see how well ACCA structures their curriculum. So first, a foundation level, a knowledge is being imparted, then utilization of that knowledge, application of that knowledge, then at the skills level, at the professional level, you will be learned how to advise the users, how to support the users as a consultant. That is how your levels are very clearly distinguished. And at the same time, if I say about MA, management accounting, so please understand, guys, please understand, management accounting is not equal to costing. There are many faculties and students who assume that F2 or management accounting is just a costing paper. Please be very careful, it's not really costing. There's a huge difference between management accounting and costing. Okay, let me tell you that very important discussion here, because without this knowledge, I don't think teaching you directly performance management makes any sense, without actually knowing what are the roles and responsibilities of a management accountant and what we are going to learn in this particular paper. So when I talk about costing, see, costing is just one branch of the huge accounting tree. It's just one part of the huge accounting process. So what costing does is just gives you idea about cost per unit. What are raw materials? What is the labor cost? What is the variable overhead? What are fixed overheads? What are non-production costs like marketing, advertisement, etc., etc., the other overheads. So it just tells you how to calculate a cost per unit using various techniques: marginal costing, absorption costing, ABC costing, life cycle costing, or whatever costing technique you are using. In the costing branch of accounting, we only calculate the cost per unit. Maybe we can extend it a little bit and say, okay, cost per unit plus markup or margin will give me the sale price. A little bit of extension. That's the max we do in costing. But when I come to management accounting, the term is very clear. Management accounting. We are doing certain accounting process for the management to guide them, to provide them information so that they can take not decisions but informed decisions. Okay, taking a decision is one thing, taking an informed decision is different. If I'm telling you, if I'm throwing a toss in the you know if I'm tossing a coin and ask you heads or tails, you'll just take a decision and tell me, okay sir, it's head or it's tail. But on the other hand, if I'm asking you which paper of ACCA are you planning to give in next window, now you just cannot by a fluke, put some chits and pick one and say that, okay sir, I'll go with this. No, you're going to take some informed decision. You will take some information. You are like, okay, I have recently given financial reporting, so those accounting standards, IAS and IFRS are still fresh in my mind. So that will help me if I'm going with audit and assurance, because audit and assurance depends upon the financial reporting paper. So it makes sense for me to do it in a continuity. Okay, or else I have just recently given financial management paper and moved on to skill professional level. So it makes more sense for me to start with AFM right after FM, because the knowledge of financial management is still fresh in my mind, so I can do advanced financial management. So you will take an informed decision. Okay, similarly, management, when they plan to take a decision, they would want to have an information upfront based on which they can take their decision. That, my dear friends, is your management accounting, providing whatever information management needs, not just costing, not just financial reporting, or not just financial management. Whatever information the management requires to take informed decisions, providing that is the roles and responsibility of management accountant. That is why if you are a management accountant, you should know financial accounting, you should know costing, you should know financial management, you should know whatever information that the management can ask you. Okay, management accounting is a very huge branch. It's not a just focused area of accounting. Okay, it involves costing, it involves financial reporting, it involves budget preparation, it involves variance analysis, it involves standard costing or whatever variance analysis, that's what you guys call it. It involves performance evaluation, it involves strategical formulation. Okay, it involves evaluation of that implied strategies or applied strategies. Lots of aspects are covered in MA. So coming to ACCA syllabus, what they do in F2 paper, management accountancy, is they focus on the numerical part of it. I'm not saying it's completely numerical. I'm saying that they focus more on the numerical part of it. Like if I'm talking about marginal costing, absorption costing, ABC costing, life cycle costing, or else, your raw material cost per unit calculation, batch costings, job costing, all these various costing techniques are more focused in MEA paper, management accountancy paper. But when we move on to performance management, F5, their focus is not on costing or accounting anymore. Please understand, the name of the paper itself tries to tell you some information. Management accounting paper talks about accounting information. Performance management focuses more on the performance part, not on the accounting part. If you ask me very honestly, more than 50-60% of your syllabus of performance management has nothing to do with costing. Nothing to do with costing at all. Numerical part is only 40% of this paper. The conceptual part, I will not say theoretical part, conceptual part is 60% of this paper. So please pay attention to the theoretical parts as well, the concepts as well, rather than just focusing on the numbers. Okay, performance management also focuses more on the performance side of it rather than the accounting side of it, the numerical side of it. And when you move on to APM, the most wonderful paper according to me, the best paper of ACC according to me, it's a personal preference, right? So if you ask me, there's always a tie between SBR and APM because these two are my favorite papers. I don't teach SBL, so I don't know what is covered in SBL. Maybe SBL also is very similar to APM from what I have heard. Yeah, but still APM would always be one of my favorite papers, if not the most favorite paper. So APM level, you will learn purely about theories. Only one or two chapters of APM actually talk about numericals. There is one Z-score calculation, and then there is one, what was that? Activity based costing and activity based budgeting part. So only those two areas we really talk about numericals in APM paper. The rest of the paper is completely conceptual. Okay, there we learn about lots of strategies, just in time, Six Sigma, all that strategies, Kaizen costing or target costing, all that stuff we'll learn in APM. That's very interesting paper. Okay, now having said that, I hope you guys understood what we are going to learn in this particular paper, performance management. So please stop calling it F5, it's PM. Okay, ACCA have changed the name of all these papers, the short codes or paper codes of all these papers. F1, F2, F3, these names are removed from ACCA curriculum. They are now called with their short codes, respective short codes, FR, PM, TX, ATX, APM, AFM, like that. They are not using F1, F2, F3 anymore. But again, it's a personal choice, that's fine. Now, when I'm talking about PM paper, your examination, first of all, we need to understand how your examination will look like. So you have three sections in your performance management paper: section A, section B, and section C. Three papers are there. So section A will have 15 objective questions into 2 marks each, that is 30 marks. And then section B will have 3 scenarios. Each scenario will have 5 objective questions. Each question will be for 2 marks. So 3 into 5, 15, 15 into 2. This is another 30 marks. Your section C will have 2 case studies, or I can say not case study, 2 constructive response questions, scenario based questions or case studies or essays, whatever you want to call it, into 20 marks each. That would be another 40 marks. So 30, 30 and 40, that's your 100 marks paper. And you are supposed to score 50 out of this. Okay, now coming to your section A and section B, since they are objective questions, we don't know from which area of your syllabus these questions will be tested. So we cannot say that, okay, this will come out of this chapter or something like that. But section C, I can say not with guarantee or something, but majority of the times, majority, I can say almost all 75-80% of the time, one question in section C comes from the conceptual part, like your maybe I can say if, a question can pop out of your balanced scorecard, or else it may come out from any of those strategies which we cover later. Okay, I don't want to give you the names right now in the first session itself or confuse you guys much. So usually one question comes out of the theoretical part, that is evaluation techniques, whatever we are going to learn later. Okay, non-financial performance measures and other stuff we'll learn as we move further. So there we will discuss about this performance evaluation techniques. So usually one question comes out from that particular area. It can be either balanced scorecard, or else they usually test building block model, or it can be also coming out of your pyramid model. Whatever they are doing, usually they test it in section C for 20 marks very frequently. Okay, this is your syllabus area, I mean sorry, your examination structure. Okay, now coming to your resources, I hope all of you have downloaded the PDF file that is available after your post enrollment. So all you need to do is the website, once you log in the website, on the right side top you have the login section. So after you log in, you need to go to dashboard. Okay, once you go to the dashboard, you will have the download section, and from there you can download these two files. One is the Zoom meeting link and the password for the Zoom meeting, and the second one is this performance management related resource. So this is a 10-page document. I should say 9 pages. First page is just index. So you have the first cover page, then you have the index page. So just 9 pages are there in this particular document, and every single page is very important for you. Very, very important for you. I have prepared this document myself and compiled it. So please pay attention to this particular document. So you have the resources that are required to pass this paper, first page. And then you have the information about the paper, that is MA to PM to APM, which I just spoke about. What is the knowledge that is assumed from the student before starting this particular paper, format of the exam, syllabus for this particular exam, then what are the strategies that you should adopt to while preparing this for this particular exam, and the summary of this entire discussion. So all these 10 pages I have covered. So I have already covered all of this, so I'm going directly to the syllabus areas. So section A, section B, and section C related information is given. And then what are the topics that you should keep in mind while preparing for this particular exam? I don't think I'll be reading all these points now. You guys can read them later. Now coming to the resources part, let me just open the syllabus PDF file very quickly. You guys are giving in June 2021, right? Okay. Yeah. Thanks for confirming, ma. So there are no syllabus changes in PM for like since so much of time, so you don't need to worry about that. And okay, this is your syllabus area. So what are the topics that are covered in your syllabus area, sir? Very quickly, we'll go through the entire index once. This is as per ACCA, not Kaplan or BPP. This is as per your ACCA syllabus guide. So first of all, information technology and systems in an organization and their performance evaluation. So first we'll talk about the information technology, and here there is one update with respect to information technology that is put forth in APM paper. So they have introduced the concept of big data and data analytics, the importance of big data and data analytics. Now, the same topic has also been put forward as a separate section in CMA. Okay, so understand the kind of importance it is given at this point of time. Information technology is the future, guys. As simple as that. You learn costing, you learn auditing, you learn financial reporting, you learn financial management, or anything for that matter. Unless you are good with information technology systems, unless you are good with your computers, laptops, sir, good means not, preparing a leave letter in MS Word, or else doing some mark sheet on Excel. That's dumb. That's dumb, my dear friends. As simple as that. I'm not here to, boost your confidence or boost your morale or something. I'm here to give you hard, raw, true facts. As simple as that. Okay. You should be able to do pivot analysis, pivot tables. You should be in a position where you can draw pivot charts, or else use slicers in Excel, or you should be very comfortable with using lookups, index and match functions, or you should be good with Excel, like as good as you should be in a position where you can do data analysis in Excel, not just basic something like A2 plus B3 is equal to D4. No, that is nonsense. That is not real Excel, ma. That is basic Excel. You should be in a position where you can do data analysis over Excel, like preparation of entire consolidated financial statements in Excel, plus analysis of that, ratio analysis, plus forecasted financial statements, using interpretation techniques, or else, sorry, interpolation techniques, plus data which is provided by the management or the organization. So you should have very good control over Excel, not just basic Excel. There are so many courses where you can learn all that stuff. So go ahead and learn that after clearing your ACC, or while the preparation, after giving an exam, waiting for the results, whenever it is. Chalo. So first part we'll talk, first section A of your syllabus area talks about the information technology, where we'll cover about what are the sources from where management can get information, how do they process that information, what are the controls that should be there in place while processing that information, and how can that data collected be converted into information, and how can management take decisions based on that information, what are the systems that should be in place, information systems, and the importance of data analytics. That is what we cover in part A of your syllabus. Then coming to part B, this is the costing and management techniques. This is where your MEA related information will be repeated. Activity based costing, target costing, life cycle costing, throughput accounting, environmental accounting, marginal costing, absorption costing. All these things are covered. Different types of costing techniques are covered in section B of your syllabus area. Then section C or part C of your syllabus area covers decision making techniques. Okay. So decision analysis, decision making is a 25% weightage in CMA as well. I'm trying to compare CMA and ACCA here because you will understand the importance of that particular topic. Okay, that's all. I have nothing to do with promoting CMA or promoting ACCA. I'm just here as a tutor. Now, when I'm talking about decision makings, so here we'll talk about the analysis part, like how to take an informed decision. This is where management strategies come into the place. Should I produce a product in my own factory or should I purchase it from outside? How many units should I produce to break even? How many units should I produce to get a target profit of $10,000? Or else, with the limited availability of resources, which product should I produce? So let's say I'm producing 3 products, A, B, C, but I'm having limited raw material or limited labor. So which product should I produce first? How many units should I produce first? How can I maximize my profits with the limited resources? How should I price my product? Should I sell my product at $20 or $200? How do I fix the price of my product? Is it based on the market conditions or is it based on my internal costs? Okay. And then we are also going to talk about dealing with uncertainty in the markets, risk and uncertainty related discussions, where we'll talk about probability analysis, your estimated value calculations. And also there is one very important and very confusing discussion over there, which are called as decision tables, which is very interesting and confusing. We'll deal with that later. Then comes the next system, that is your budgetary and control system. How to prepare budgets, what are the different types of budgets, rolling budgets, incremental budgets, ABC budgets, different types of budgets are there, zero based budgeting and other techniques. So what are the different types of budgeting techniques? How do we prepare budget? What are the topics to be kept in mind while preparing a budget? And then after preparing a budget, how do we compare budgets with actuals and do a variance analysis, standard costing analysis? How to interpret each variance that is identified? How to break that into further causes or further reasons? How to understand each variance and how to rectify those variances to make sure that our performance is better. Okay, all that stuff we'll cover in the budgeting and control topics. Then we'll move on to performance measurement and control. Section E is where one section C question comes in your paper. That is 20 marks question comes from performance measurement and control. According to me, this is not a hardcore rule. That's what I have observed over the past 3 years. Pardon me. So what do we do in this performance measurement, sir? Financial performance measurement, non-financial performance measurement for not profit sectors. What are the external considerations to be considered while doing performance measurement? What are the different types of techniques that we use for performance evaluation of a company? All that stuff we'll cover in the last part. Okay. So did you guys get a brief understanding about the complete syllabus area of your PM paper? What is expected to be learned in PM paper? So see how well they have actually drafted your syllabus. This is why I prefer teaching directly from ACCA content rather than teaching from Kaplan or BPP. So the reason is very simple. Kaplan or BPP follow their own sequence of subject. Like one chapter is kept in the first page or first unit, and then another part is taken into the last unit. They just make it, sort it or order it according to their convenience, according to what they feel is very good. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's different for everybody. I don't necessarily follow the same sequence of Kaplan in my regular classes. Okay, for certain topics, PM is not one of those topics. PM has to be taught in a very sequential manner. But financial reporting or else audit and assurance, for these kind of subjects, when I teach these subjects, or else even FM for that matter, I directly go to the class and ask the student, okay, today which topic do you guys want to learn? And they'll pick one particular standard. FR usually happens in FR mostly. So they'll say that, sir, today we'll do this particular standard, and we'll do that standard. Unless it has something to be taken from other standards, in which case I'll tell them, okay, sir, this particular topic of the standard has reference to another standard. First we have to do that, then we have to come back here. Else we'll just do it in whatever order the student feel fit. There's no option, there is no requirement there that we go in a sequence. But when we are talking about okay, let's see. But when we are talking about PM, we have to follow a very good sequence, which is covered in your ACCA guide. So if you see here very clearly, ACCA, they first talked about, are covering about the source of information. From where do we get the information? Then what are the different management techniques, accounting techniques, then decision making techniques, how do we take the decisions based on that, then we will evaluate those decisions, see how logically and how sorted this structure is, right? Okay, so I have spoke too much about the informations, and it's already half an hour without starting the syllabus. I know, give it some time. My first session is going to be like that. That's the base where we keep everything sorted. Okay, so all the required resources are given in the what do you call it, this Google Drive resources. You can click on here and you can get all the access to all the resources required for FIMA. Google Drive resources are there. You can click here and access all that. This is there in the file that has been shared with you. Okay. Any doubts before we start our discussion with the first topic? Okay. So the information regarding the batch details is that basically this is not going to be extensive lectures, guys. I'll not do problems from the textbook. I'll cover only the concepts. Okay. And today is 21st April and the sessions are going to be till 29th of April. That is 9 sessions. First session is an introductory session, so we'll keep it aside. So 8 sessions will be there in total, and in 8 sessions we are going to cover the entire PM paper, 2 hours of each session, so 16 hours. I was planning for 15 hours, we'll go for 16 hours. So 16 hours entire ACCA performance management syllabus will be completed. Okay, that is what we are going to do, and it will be done, don't worry. It's a concepts batch, so we'll cover all the concepts from the textbook, but we are not going to do the problems. Okay, 16 hours entire syllabus of PM. Okay,